What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today, we're going to talk about FBA once again, right? And we're going to discuss what is their true motivations, and I'm going to prove to you, without a shadow of a doubt, that FBA are a group of African Americans who are proud slaves. And they are proud to be associated with their slave masters. And they are proud of all their accomplishments that our ancestors made during slavery, and that is their point of pride. And they don't want any other group to come in and be better slaves than them. All right? I'm literally going to prove this. All right? I'm going to prove it. Right. And it's not a new phenomenon, actually, because even back during slavery, there were some slaves who were proud of their plantations. Even though they were slaves, they were proud of their plantations. They were proud, that they had a good massa, right? Or they produced the most, right? And if another African, were to be brought on to the plantation from another place, they would compete to be who can be the better nigga. Right, who can be the better slave, right? And so this FBA, they see other black people as competition, right? What do you hear them complain about? They complain. You hear them complain that other Africans want to be close to white people. They try to hide it as if they got a problem with white people, but in fact, they don't like the fact that other black people come in and have a different relationship, perceivably, surface level, with white people than them. Right? It seems like they come in, right, to them and get all these benefits, which, if you notice, they have never, ever been able to articulate, break down, or provide receipts on all these benefits that apparently all these Africans are receiving, right? They've never been able to do it, right? But they still complain about it. They also have not been able to produce receipts that there's an overwhelming hatred for African Americans from Africans or Caribbeans. They can't produce it. They can produce clips about everything else, because nowadays if you say something, you can find a clip on it and be like, see, I told you. If you notice, FBA says that all these people are talking about them, but they don't seem to add clips showing the people talking about them, right? Now, I was on TikTok looking for content, right? And I saw that Tariq was live. And I said, let me click and see what the hell he's talking about, because that's his new thing. Tariq Nasheed, what he does is he goes live. Then he allows these individuals to call in and say whatever they're going to say. Now, what he does is he uses his plausible deniability by just simply being an innocent host who just didn't say anything. It was them who said it, right? It's a tactic. Keep in mind, he's a Mac. He's a pimp. He knows how to make the other person be the guilty party, where he can be like, shit, it wasn't me. I ain't do it. I ain't say it, right? Even though he's the one who facilitates and creates the environment and coerces and brings in these type of people to say the things he wants them to say, right? For his own monetary gain, for his own benefit, right? And what you're going to hear, you're going to hear a prime FBA say what they all think, that they are the premium nigger, all right? The premium nigger to the white man, and that the white man is not going to let them go. Hence, the immigration thing. African Americans, that's what I am, right? Don't call me an FBA. That's disrespectful to me and my ancestors, right? African Americans are pro-immigration, especially pro-African and Caribbean immigration, because that bolsters our numbers in America, adds to our genetic diversity, so that we are not all cousins. Because if you didn't know, white Americans are very inbred. This is a fact. You can look it up. I'm not making it up. They are very inbred individuals, because not enough Europeans have come over here to help genetically diversify their populations. So they've been marrying each other, cousins and uncles and sisters and brothers. We know that's what they do, right? Now, with the African American population, if we don't add to our genetic diversity, at some point we will have no choice but to be marrying our cousins and things like that. And that with genetic inbreeding comes genetic problems. Therefore, it's a must that we receive genetic diversity from the Caribbean and Africa, right? That keeps us healthy. That keeps our numbers growing, which we want to happen so that we can eventually overwhelm the Europeans with our own numbers. Without those things, we are doomed. You understand? So these black people, right? These gullible, uneducated village Negroes, all right, because that's what they are. They're uneducated. A lot of them are from little towns. They don't know any Africans except for the successful ones that moved in that town to start a business, or some of them that was hired to work at the corporations that they worked at because they dare to want a living wage. Just like immigrants are brought into every country around the world because they're willing to accept less pay than the native population. That's just capitalism. Keep in mind, they promote capitalism, right? But they suffer from capitalism, and they complain about the results and the side effects of capitalism, which is, why would I pay you more money if I can pay this person less and they'll do the same job? It's that simple. And the animosity is created when you realize that even though you think you're worth $25 an hour, that person would do it for 12. Therefore, that person's more valuable than you because you are overhead that corporations who practice capitalism, which is the pursuit of capital, right? And corporations are in the business of making money, not making your individual lives better, all right? So you're just a cog in a machine, and just like any cog, it can be replaced with a better, more efficient, lighter cog that runs the machine lighter and it costs less money, right? But what you're going to hear is Tariq Nasheed do his thing like a pimp. And he's going to be there. He's going to be the therapist for all these disgruntled, uneducated African Americans who don't understand what capitalism does on the global scale, complain about an African. And you can just see she's going to make a mountain out of a molehill. And she's very excited and amped up. But then the truth comes out. She wants to be the premium nigga to her master, right? And she can't allow any other black person to come and take her spot. And if you notice, FBA, they will defend white supremacy. They will defend American ethno-nationalism. They will defend the institutions that have been created to keep us down, right? They will defend that over the connection with their people, the liberation of their people. They will defend that over their own black brothers and sisters simply because they speak another colonizer's language, or because they weren't enslaved, but they were colonized, right? Only difference is one took a cab, one didn't, all right? But the same colonizer is the same enslaver, is the same white European, right? But you'll see how sad it is, right? And we are in a war. We're in a war as us intelligent African Americans who are prideful Africans who know that they were snatched from America. Snatched from Africa and brought to America. Prideful African Americans who are also proud of our African ancestors and their struggles in America to build a life for ourselves, despite being the tool for whites to build their white Wakandas. Despite everything that we've been through, we are proud to be African and proud to be American. And our America is different from their America. Just like our Christianity is different from their Christianity. Just like our Islam is different from other people's Islam. We are proud of the portion of America we have created and carved out for ourselves. That's why I'm always saying I'm an African American. I live in Africa, America. All right. America, it means white. I live in Africa, America. Right. And the power that we have as black people, when you raise your fist, understanding that power, that black power is that African power. It's always been the African power. Without the African portion, there's no power in your fist. That's the thing. Without Africa, there is no power in your fist. You might as well open that shit up and go like that. All right. That's why we like this and they like that. All right. Our power, the pride that we have is the pride of being African. That's the root of African Americans' power. That's our superpower because we come from a superpowered place. And we've always known that. If you look at our music history, look at our history all the way up until recently, you see we are unashamedly, right? Undeniably pro-black, pro-African in every way possible. But every now and then there is a crow and tell pro. There's a group of weak link individuals, mainly because they're uneducated and they're being manipulated by grifters, by people who don't care about their own people, by people who care more about dead presidents than their dead ancestors, right? And they will take advantage of these people. And that's what Tariq is doing. That's why, if you notice, every sector of the black community, Every sector of the black community, even the sectors that don't necessarily agree with each other, we all have come to a consensus that FBA is a xenophobic hate group meant to divide. And that Tariq Nasheed, who said he's not the leader, even though he trademarked the name, he makes all the rules, he has the website, and he tells who is FBA, who's not. And every word that he says, his followers, they say it. Plebiscite babbling. Everybody in FBA says plebiscite babbling because Tariq Nasheed says plebiscite babbling. Everybody says tether because Tariq Nasheed created his own word, tether, because he can't say nigger with the hard ER, but tether is meant to replace nigger because it don't hit as hard when a black person says it to another black person. So tether is the word that is approved for all xenophobic, hateful, white adjacent black people who will like to remain slaves to the white system because they're comfortable in it, is what they know, is what they're familiar with, is how they survive, right? They can use the word tether in replacement for nigger in order to be derogatory towards other Africans who they deem as a threat because they want to be the premium nigger. All right? So without further ado, I want you to listen to this. Now I want you to listen to Tariq's tactics. And I want you to listen to Tariq's vocabulary. He's not that smart. He's just slightly smart enough to handle them. They believe he's intelligent. But if you listen to him, he's very basic in his tactics. All right? So anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
My God. All right, let me get a couple of more people in here. Oh, let me get a couple of more people in here. Who is this? What's your name? Naughty? What's up, Miss Naughty? Hop on here, Naughty.
Yes,
Hey,
I
Miss
had
Naughty.
a hey boo. I had a time at work today. I had to get an African toll today.
Oh, what happened?
He
What
walked
happened?
he walked up to me. Now we at the post office or whatever. He walked up to me and he like, yeah. So the temps be on the job too. So he walked up to me, telling me the temps don't never stay. I said, because some of the temps they already have jobs and they just have second jobs. Some black people they don't like to work. Man, I must have snapped I
Whoa.
snapped. And before I
Whoa.
knew it, I had to catch myself. I said, first of all, you scared of the white man. We not. I
Yep.
said, they used to suck my grandmama titty, baby. We know how they is. I ain't mean to say, I almost got it. Lord, don't let me get in trouble tomorrow, because I told him, baby, they used to suck our titty, baby. We know the white man better than anybody. Baby, you the one scared of them. I said, and one thing about black people, I said, you'll work for that $5, $10 they gonna give you. I want my whole $25, nigga. What you talking about? I want my whole 25. You hear me? You'll work for that $10 and $15. They'll pay y'all them Mexicans. I said, that's why the infrastructure. I said, baby, black people ain't no lazy. I said, black people just ain't finna work for free no more. That's
Right.
it. And then I told him, I said, I just started going off and I said one thing. I said, the infrastructure to America all fucked up because y'all got these fucking Mexicans doing it and we the master motherfucking builders. You can't build a country that can only be built by its own motherfucking people. What the fuck is you talking about? I
Man.
went the fuck off. I even had through the Bible in there. I said, gotta be something real about the Bible because these motherfuckers, then all of a sudden I said Satan telling us what the next play is. If you pay attention, they tell them they want reparations and all that old shit there. Then we must be finna get reparations. Where the devil can see the future or something, we must be on the way to get them. Because not everybody want to claim reparations all of a sudden.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I let people know who gonna get it, who God want reparations. Reparations is for foundational black Americans. That's who that shit is for. And that's who gonna get it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
One
ma'am.
thing about the white man, he ain't stupid. And then everybody talks about they gonna get they do putting black people too. I said, baby, let me tell you something about white people. They ain't getting rid of their niggas. They get rid of you motherfuckers first before they get rid of us. They know we built this bitch. We come from here. Matter of fact, it's in the book. Abraham Lincoln and the other man discussed it. If you read the book, Abraham Lincoln book, he said by the time, he said, we not sending them people up out this country and sending them back, sending them to no Africa. They didn't even come from Africa. Abraham Lincoln said it plain as day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed.
Plain as day. He said them people didn't come from Africa, they from here. And then and so why did the government get mad when the man Marcus Garvey was trying to take us off this land? The government stopped that shit because they know what time it is. Stop that shit dead in this motherfucking tracks because they know this is our land and they know they got to give it back one day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, beloved. Thank you. Man, yeah, this sister was cooking, dude. We are the secret sauce, dude. We are the secret sauce here. Who was that? Who was that? Oh, okay. This dude said, I'm a Mason in a fraternity. Okay, you just saying shit. Okay, you just plebiscite battle. I ain't no damn Mason. The hell, you just saying shit. All right, and that's why nobody's listening to you, sir. Nobody's listening to no lying tether. The hell out of here. Oh, Lord. But yeah, that sister was cooking. Yeah, man. Yeah, they know not to send us nowhere. No. They can't do that. I'm telling you. That's why when tethers be trying to scare us, you couldn't get deported. They're going to deport. No, they're not. They ain't about to send us nowhere. We know too much. I want y'all to understand something. They ain't about to send us no. We know too damn much. We done built this bitch. We know all the nooks and crannies from science engineering, from military. Dude, we done fought in every single war over here and helped win them. We know too much militarily. You understand? They're not about to let that go to some other nation, potentially. Dude, I want y'all to understand something, dude. Because the white tea supremacists try to pretend, we were just the labor. We were more than just the labor. We were the thought leaders. We were the ingenuity people. We were the architects. Look up the Horace Kings of the world. It was a foundational black American who was enslaved, who was a master architect. Look up Thomas Day, the people he was making all the furniture for them mansions in the antebellum South. Foundational black American brother from North Carolina. Dude, we were the architects of this stuff. We know about George Washington Carver and people like that. Dude, for them to grind wheat the way they needed to, they were getting it from us. People like George Peake, who was a foundational black American up there in Ohio. He was coming up with ways to grind wheat into flour and all that shit. Man, come on. We were the ones changing the agrarian culture. George Washington Carver saved the agrarian South. He was showing them how to rotate crops because the white tea people, they were destroying the crops in the South. Do y'all know this? They were just, if you plant one thing over and over again, it'll fuck the soil up. You know that? You have to rotate the crops. You have to put different things and different nutrients in there. They were the white tea people, they were destroying the damn crops in the South. They were destroying the soil. George Washington Carver told them, hey, you got to put peanuts and sweet potatoes and all that to put the nutrients back in there and the nitrates and all that back in the soil. And they were depleting the soil. He saved the agrarian South. You see? Yeah, they try to minimize the shit we did. No. It was very, very important. Yeah, one of the earliest chemical engineers in the United States was a foundational black American Creole cat named Norbert Rilou out of Louisiana. Creole dude, light-skinned brother. Coming up with chemical engineerings and showing people how to refine sugar the way it is now. He was creating these evaporators for sugar to process it the way we see it now. He was very important. It was us doing that. It wasn't us. We weren't just, see, they want you to think we were just in a field just chopping the sugar cane. No, we were coming up with ways on how to refine this in the most prosperous ways. We were the engineers too now. Yeah, when you go down to Louisiana, go visit those plantations. They'll tell you. I like when you go down there. They'll admit what the truth is. They'll tell you the black people who were the architects of those mansions. They'll tell you. You go down there to Louisiana, it was black people who were the architects, not just the builders, the architects. I mean, the black people who were writing up the blueprints for those houses down there. You know? Come on now. Man. Oh, my goodness. Let me see who we got. Oh, we know about George, Benjamin Banneker helped design Washington, D.C. Right. Man. Let me see. Y'all, let me see who we got. Yeah, we literally built the White House. It was enslaved people living in the White House, too. People don't talk about that. Who is this? Lottie? Let's get Lottie in here, brother. Lottie Wise. Let's get Lottie Wise in here. Lottie Wise, hop on.
You know what's so deep, my brother, man?
Yes, sir.
The thing is, this FBA thing, I've noticed that all the aliens from the Avengers is documented from all the NBA legends. And I'm a descendant. Because you know Popeye was really black, right?
Oh.
The way you picked the spinach, you know what I'm saying? It was the green eyes, you know, and the Matrix also showed you that the green eyes was like, you know, Andre Rison and Left Eyes. You know? You gotta see where I'm going, bro.
Oh, let's go with it.
All right, now listen. Luke Skywalker was really the prophet of the lightsaber clan. And let me tell you something, bro. This was way before ancient Egypt. They was in New York with the mermaids.
There it is.
You know?
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let me get Nikki in here. See, original. Let's get original individual. All right. Let's get original individual.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, original. How are you, bro?
I'm pretty good. Just enjoying the show. Peace to the panel. Peace to everybody.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind, bro?
Man, I was talking to some Pan-Africanists and James Bigworth. Tell me why Cud got the same facial features as Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah, he does. He kind of does look like him. Oh yeah.
Real deal. But I was talking to some Pan-Africanists and they was kind of disgruntled at their FBA term and the foundation of Black American movement and whatnot. And I was asking them about Pan-Africanism, and one of the tenets of Pan-Africanism is self-determination. And I was like, how are y'all Pan-Africanists and Black Americans are not doing anything but disaggregating and delineating themselves for better understanding and legalities under the U.S. political system?
Yeah.
How it was making y'all that mad if the
Right.
tenets of Pan-Africanism is self-determination? They couldn't answer me, G. So
yeah.
what you got going on? Man, it's more than physical. It's really spiritual because it got them too hot. It shouldn't make you that mad that Black Americans are identifying themselves.
My man. Thank you.
1,000, bro.
All right. Thank you, brother. Brother hit it right on the money. The Pan-Africans who talk shit about us delineating all that FBA shit, understand something. This shows you how insignificant the Pan Goofies are. We ain't stopping you from being no damn Pan-African. We ain't stopping you from being we haven't told you to stop, whatever. We're not stopping you. I ain't. I don't give a damn what you do. None of us are stopping you from building Wakanda, Akon City, nothing. Yeah, you just sitting up here yelling at our lineage as a stalling tactic to really deflect from the fact you ain't got shit popping as a Pan-Africanist. Pan-Africans who like to just sit up and talk about our lineage all day, you ain't got nothing popping. It ain't gonna get nothing popping. You see? Because now people are tired of the scams. All we see with Pan-African, that's why it turned a lot of people off, because every time somebody's talking about Pan-Africanism, It's always a futuristic scam, some kind of future, something that's about to happen that never happens. People are tired of that. You can never point to, hey, we got this Pan-African thing just popping. Come over here and watch all of this Pan-African shit just pop off. You can never, they can't point to nothing. Come on, they just can't point to anything. Here's a Pan-African community that's just popping. Here's a Pan-African school that's just so successful. Here's nothing. Nothing. It's always about what they gonna do, what they planning on doing. I need to buy an embosser from Amazon. I just got to get the right fiber. Oh, I need HVAC for my. The Black Star Line ship didn't work the way it needed to work, and we've been hearing dilapidated Pan-African failure stories for 200 years. Enough is enough. We don't want to hear it no more. Everybody's tired. Even with Garvey, he bought them old raggedy ass ships that didn't work. They were blowing up. The steamers were blowing. Raggedy ass ships, nothing. People are tired. Just year after year, we need to do this in Africa. Okay, how come y'all ain't doing it? How come y'all ain't got nothing set up?
Most people, when we say Afro-American, they think only of the Negroes in the United States. But they don't realize that 2/3 of Brazil consists of people of African blood, which means they're also Afro-American because Brazil is in South America. And in all of these, many of these countries in South America and Central America, and even in Canada, they are heavily populated with people whose ancestors came from Africa. So when you total up the number of Afro-Americans, real Afro-Americans, in the Western Hemisphere, there are perhaps 100 million. And if these people ever unite among themselves, not only is it necessary for the Afro-Americans in the United States to be organized, but it's also necessary for the Afro-Americans in the Caribbean, or the Afro-Cubans, the Afro-Brazilians. It's necessary for all of them to be organized. And then once they are organized in each place, we have to organize among ourselves so that the Afro-American in the United States will be working in conjunction in a coordinated program with those who are in Cuba, and those in Brazil, and those in Venezuela, and those throughout the Caribbean, in Haiti, and in the West Indian Islands. And in this way, we actually get strength. And it's not an accident that there's no organization existing in the Western Hemisphere that's designed toward that end. It would be a direct threat to imperialism as it really exists, and to colonialism as it exists in the West. And one of the things that's going to help to bring this about is the independence of Africa. And one of the only reasons that we in the West have never organized, we have hated our image and our African image. And because Africa has been in the hands of people who have created an image of Africa that's negative and hateful. And it has been hateful to us. We haven't wanted to identify with it. But now that Africa is getting independent and in a position to create its own image, and it's a positive image, those of us in the West look at the African image and see how positive it is, and we begin to identify with it. We become proud of Africa, and we become proud of our African blood, our African heritage. And this is what is beginning to make the Africans in the Western Hemisphere today develop more race pride. And as this race pride develops, then it has a tendency to make us want to unite together and work together. And your Western imperialists and colonialists consider this to be a grave threat. More threat than communism or Marxism or socialism or anything else. The Africanism is what they consider to be the real threat.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.